Well, hello and welcome to another instance of the Daily Dominion against the hard AI. And yeah, look at this interesting kingdom. There are a few engine components, but nothing looks super duper convincing. Let's see how this will play out. As always, feel free to skip the next part where I'll go through the kingdom cards just for those that are not familiar with them. First up we have Faithful Hound, a 2-cost card that on play just gives +2 cards, but also when you discard the Faithful Hound, other than during your cleanup phase, you may set it aside and put it into your hand at end of next turn. At the end of turn, actually. So, for example, if your opponent attacks you during their turn and you discard the Faithful Hound, they don't go to your discard pile, but you can just get them back into your hand at the end of your opponent's turn. And yeah, there are a few cards here. Well, yeah, a few cards here that interact with it in a discarding way, and we'll get to those. Next up, we have Farmer's Market, a interesting payload card, usually not that strong, as on average it only gives you 2 money, but it gives you +1 buy on play. And then if there are 4 victory points, victory markers or more on the farmer's market pile, take them and trash your farmer's market that you just played. Otherwise, you add 1 to the pile and then you get +1 coin to the pile. So the first 4 plays, you stack up those markers, and then on the 5th play, you take the markers, trash your farmer's market, and yeah, have some victory points, but don't get any money from it. And this creates an interesting dynamic, as your opponent might also do the same and profit off of consecutive plays more than you do, or otherwise the other way around. So that, yeah, is quite the interesting card, and I think it's gonna be relevant here. Sometimes there are kingdoms where it isn't super relevant, but yeah, here it looks like it. Next up, we have Ghost Town, a village that is gained to your hand when you buy or gain it. And it you play it during your night phase, so it doesn't take up 1 action. And on the next turn, it gives you the +1 card and +1 action. Very simple. Another card that is gained to your hand and you can play it in your night phase is Den of Sin, which is a laboratory variant, because at the start of your next turn you get +2 cards, and this is also gained to your hand instead of to your discard pile. And yeah, both of those can be really nice, but can also be a bit awkward, as sometimes they desync, and you yeah, if you rely on them, that can be a bit annoying in my experience. We have Secret Cave, which gives 1 card and an action, and then you may discard 3 cards. So that's an instance where you could discard, in principle, Faithful Hounds. If you did, then at the start of your next turn, +3 money, and the Secret Cave stays out. Otherwise, it just gives you +1 card and +1 action. But also, it comes with an heirloom, which is Magic Lamp. We don't have it in our hand right now, but you can see it here. Magic Lamp is a copper, essentially, but if there are at least 6 cards that you have exactly 1 copy of in play, counting the Magic Lamp itself, trash this. If you do, gain 3 wishes. And wishes are super powerful cards that on play you just return to their pile. They give you an action, and if you return them to their pile, just for throne room stuff mainly, then you can gain a card costing up to 6 to your hand, which is amazing. So yeah, you in games with Secret Cave and Magic Lamp, you usually really want to aim for diversifying your deck such that you get those 6 unique cards in play. And of course, Secret Cave being a duration card helps with that. Also, Den of Sin and Ghost Town could help with that. But Den of Sin and Ghost Town are a bit different from Secret Cave in that they cannot be played in the same turn that you want to activate your Magic Lamp. You have to have played them the turn before. well, the Secret Cave, you can play either the turn before or on the turn where you also play the Magic Lamp. Yeah, but we are going to try to, activate this. Next up, we have Blessed Village, which is a village, and when you gain this, take a boon, receive it now or at the start of your next turn, and boons are those helpful effects that can, that do good stuff for you. I'm not going to go over them too much, but also what's notably really nice about Blessed Village is that you can delay receiving the boon at to the next turn, and that can be helpful with about half of the boons that are not going to be useful, or even more than half, right at the time when you gain the Blessed Village. Then we have Charm. Charm is a silver variant, essentially. You can either play it for +1 buy and 2 coins, or you can play it as a gainer for the next time you gain a card this turn, you may also gain a differently named card with the same cost. So you could play Charm for the second effect and buy a Raider, and then you could gain a gold alongside with it. Not sure why you would like to do that. It's usually those cards are rather weak, but you can also play 3 charms, then buy a Den of Sin and gain 3 duchies with them, and that's a rather powerful effect. Unfortunately here there is no target for it costing 4. The only 4-cost card is Blessed Village, and once the Den of Sins run, the targets for the 5 costs aren't super great, but Farmer's Market, Ghost Town might still be interesting targets for it. We have Legionary, +3 coins, and you may reveal a gold from your hand. If you do so, each other player discards down to 2 cards in hand and then draws a card. So this is a very, very strong attack if you can reliably activate it. But you need to connect this with a gold. It's a terminal action card, so it's not super easy to activate it. But for example, if you gain those 3 wishes, something you could do in principle if you have 2 wishes is wish for a Legionary and a gold and then directly activate it. All dependent on the game state, I don't know. But yeah, essentially it leaves your opponent with 3 cards in hand, of which one is random from the top of their deck. We have Tormentor, +2 cards, and if there are no other cards in play, gain an Imp, otherwise each other player receives the next Hex. And finally we have Raider, which, well, is another discard attack. So note that Legionary and Raider and also some of the hexes that Tormentor can give out interact with Faithful Hound. And also some of the boons from Blessed Village. Sorry. But yeah, going to Raider, each other player with 5 or more cards in hand discards a copy of a card you have in play or reveals they can't. At the start of your next turn, you get +3 money. And not too much to say about this. So yeah, it's a rather weak attack because card because you can only play it every other turn. The 3 money is the same as you would get from a gold, and the attack is not the strongest, especially if you play coppers. Your opponent has to discard a copper. Oh, so bad. It usually doesn't matter that much. But yeah, we finally have a landmark and an event. Oh, I'm just noticing now that when discussing Tormentor, I didn't discuss Imp, but we saw Tormentor yesterday, and I think I mentioned it. So Imp is this lab variant. Now we have this landmark tomb, which just says when you trash a card, +1 victory point. And at face value, this seems like a really, really sad kingdom for it, because there is no card that can in an obvious way trash cards from your hand, but there are a few instances where you can get victory points of this. I think there is the magic lamp. So if you trash the magic lamp, then you get a victory point here. So another incentive to an already strong effect. Then there's Farmer's Market. So when you trash Farmer's Market, you get 5 victory points instead of 4 usually. And finally, Blessed Village can give you the Flame's Gift, where you trash an estate from your hand, and then yeah, you essentially preserve the victory point. Would be really lucky and really strong, of course, because there is no other trashing. This is gonna be a junky game. Speaking of junky games, there is Banquet, which is an event costing 3, and you gain 2 coppers and a non-victory card costing up to 5 for just 3. But those 2 coppers are going to junk your deck, and in this kingdom there is no way to trash them. So I don't think I would ever consider going for it here. But yeah, it is there, I guess. So let's discuss the kingdom. I think yesterday I forgot to show the kingdom plot, but also the kingdom plot yesterday was overestimating the village effect a bit, because the only village effect was the peasant line. Anyways, let's talk about today's kingdom. So here you can see the plot. And yeah, the thinning is non-existent. Essentially, with Blessed Villages, you can thin 1 card, but that doesn't really count. But there is a bunch of stuff to gain stuff. There is attack cards in Legionary Tormentor and also Raider, I guess. There is draw in Den of Sin, and Faithful Hound Blessed Village stuff, or Faithful Hound Ghost Town stuff can also be light draw, a supplementary draw, but you need to line it up. And yeah, Village in Ghost Town Blessed Village, and also some alt VP in Farmer's Market and Tomb. Actually, I think due to the nature of this kingdom, Farmer's Market points and scoring might be relevant, just because it allows you to keep a rather lean deck that keeps building without getting clogged by provinces, while also scoring. But it also depends on what your opponent does with respect to farmers markets. Sometimes you might want to opt to not play your farmers markets if that means your opponent will get the 4 coins from it, or will get the 4 victory points from it, or in this case 5 due to Tomb. I don't know. This is a weird kingdom without the thinning. But yeah, what are we going to try to do here? Well, we do want to draw a lot. So getting Dens of Sins is a priority. But also we want to focus our early game on popping the lamp. So we will go for a diverse assortment of cards. And yeah, just try to collide them somehow. Speaking about openings, I think on the 3/4 I would go for Secret Cave Faithful Hound, just because the Secret Cave has a bit more chances to activate your magic lamp than just a silver, which would also be an okay alternative, I think. And yeah, then from there get Ghost Town, Blessed Village, Farmer's Market, maybe 1 or 2 5 costs to go for the lamp pop. Now on the 5/2 or the 2/5 that we have, they are equivalent here. On the 2 costs, we can of course gain a Faithful Hound. And then since they are not equivalent here, especially yeah, I'm sorry, I'm actually lying, because of Den of Sin, because essentially we could go for a Den of Sin on our 2nd turn to already have some good draw on the 3rd turn. And that might be a good thing to do. On the 5/2, I might even be more inclined to go for the Den of Sin than on the 2/5, although, is that true? Yeah, I think both Charm, Den of Sin, and Tormentor are valid openings on the 2/5. I dislike Tormentor just a tiny bit because the 2 you're opening it with is Faithful Hound and you might draw dead. But getting an early imp into the deck isn't really all too bad. Getting the Den of Sin and drawing on your turn 3 is also nice. It just gets you moving really fast, and you can put in a 2nd Den of Sin really quickly. The problem I have with that is that it's kind of annoying to try to activate the magic lamp with that. And then finally Charm might be good, but might also just be a silver that you pair up with 1 copper or 2 coppers, and then what are you going to buy? It's not going to be super impactful. But if you can, of course, pair it up with already 3 coppers, then getting 2-3 costs early might be really good. So yeah, for the 2-5, I'm between going Charm or Den of Sin with the 5, but I think we'll go for the Den of Sin here. All right, let's start the game and let's see what we're in for here. There you can see the magic lamp, and AI is going for Charm. That's very interesting. Note also that Charm and Banquet don't work together because you gain the coppers first. Yeah, let's go for the Den of Sin. I think that's solid. The next turn we'll draw a bit. The Den of Sin itself will miss the shuffle, but we can either buy a new Den of Sin or a Charm. I think I like that. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful. We hit 7 here. Now, do we want to go? I think I just want to go for another Den of Sin. Let's see whether we can draw the other one again. We don't draw the other one, but that's okay. Now I don't want to put in a third Den of Sin, I think, but rather go for some extra gains. Could also think about just putting in a dumb Blessed Village. But yeah, we now really should start putting in different cards. Could this? No, I think it has to be a Charm here. This too is of course sad, but getting another Faithful Hound is okay. Now we'll draw to the end of the shuffle here. And yeah, we don't have the 6 cards here yet. But here we can gain a card. And I like, well, we can either, yeah, well, actually that's not super obvious as well. Could go for the 2 and the buy, or just gain a card. I think what I like to do is gain a Ghost Town and a Blessed Village to kick off the next turn. We could also go for Den of Sin, but that's not diversifying our cards enough. So let's go for the Blessed Village. And now next turn we'll also have an extra buy, which is great. And yeah, we find Faithful Hounds here with the Ghost Town. That's a good option. Now AI is really going in for these Den of Sins. And also a Legionary with the charms. That's super interesting. Let's hope we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot pop the lamp, that sucks. Shall we draw on to try to find the charm, or shall we just skip our turn? Let's try to find the charm. It could also draw that Blessed Village, but yeah, this is not the great outcome. Yeah, just drew that the Blessed Village. And yeah, that's annoying. So at this point, let's still try to activate this lamp next one of the next turns. But yeah, that this is not great. Also, the AI having such a supremacy in Den of Sins is awful. So we do hit 5 here, so yeah, I'm just going to buy the last Den of Sin. I think the split went 7-3 for the AI. That's not good. And it gets to put in some, once again, it goes for a Raider, which might be hurtful as AI doesn't have Faithful Hounds, but yeah, here, just go for this stuff. Now, I think we need to draw on here. And we do not find the magic lamp, which is awful. And yeah, actually, this is not going great. Let's put in another Ghost Town and just yet another card, especially since next turn we are going to have 2 of those Den of Sins that are not going to be able to activate the magic lamp. This kingdom is frustrating. With these junky decks, you're far from guaranteed popping your lamp. Wait, we're one. Okay, sorry, I was too lazy to count. So we can actually play this Faithful Hound because we can put in Copper and Charm and now finally pop that lamp that we worked so hard for. Now we cannot go for the gain card thing because otherwise it would proc off the gaining the wishes. So we need to go for the plus buys, but that's okay. Now here we have 11. And with 11, I think I like just going Ghost Town, Faithful Hound, to be honest. Just set up the next turn as best as possible, as well as possible. Now, we do have these wishes in. We now need to discard a copper here. And I think we want to use those Faithful Hounds for draw rather than discarding them to cave. Nice. So here, yeah, we get this first wish, which could just be another blasted village. Just try to draw on a bit further here. And we can gain that silver next turn. We don't need it now. Let's see. And we do not find another wish. I would have loved to gain another farmer's market here. But yeah, now let's just get farmer's market ghost town to also set up the next turn and draw here. Now the AI does have a gold, and the AI does get to pop its lamp. What? This is outrageous. With all of those dens of sins, I guess. Oh no. So let's draw first, then gain the silver into the shuffle, and now here we can draw a bit. And we do draw quite nicely, I think. But yeah, here we want, I think we can pick up another farmer's market and another charm. Play all of those farmers markets, even though AI might be able to pick up those points. That's okay. We can gain a ghost town and just try to set up the next turn as best as possible and pick up a province here because farmers markets and ghost towns are getting low. Yeah, this is like the AI popping its lamp is really scary. Especially it also has those two legionaries, so it might pair them up with golds using the wishes. But at least we do get to score a bit here. Let's not discard here, just draw on. And here we can, yeah, what do we want to do? Do we need to go for a province here? Or can we be a bit greedy and just go for one more ghost town, one more faithful hound, and one more blessed village? Well, it's 6 faithful hounds for the AI to gain, plus having to score a bit. I think that's not gonna be possible. Or maybe we renew our farmer's market. But in that case, in that case we can play this for gain card, do this, and pick up yet another faithful hound. Now, let's count this out. AI doesn't have any duration cards in play. Okay, that makes me much less concerned about the next turn. I think in the end, those banquets, like these excess coppers that the AI has, might be biting it. So yeah, it does get to play its raider here, and we did need to discard a copper there, but in the end, yeah, this is looking great. Now we do get to play 4 of those farmers markets, and we do not get to finish the game. We would almost be there, but we are lacking just 1 gain because while we could, of course, just empty the faithful hounds here, That's not gonna score just enough. Like we're off by just a bit. And Banquet can't even gain duchies. And that's super close. Wow. And this also means that our next turn is going to suck because we only put 2 ghost towns in play, but at least AI only got a raider in play and no Dens of Sins. So I think the most sensible thing to do here is just double province and hope for the best, but I do not like our position because AI did get to pop off its farmer's market there and get some points that way, snatch them away from us. It also got to wish for the duchy. And yeah, that's really bad stuff. Yeah, I think we need to just buy a duchy here and hope for the best. I will have 3 money and 2 extra cards next turn. Yeah, this is getting to a scramble. And now 2 more duchies will win the game. And AI puts into play a bunch of cards, so it will probably win on the next turn. Darn. Yeah, and we will not be able to win this turn. So we'll probably lose. Wow, I didn't expect to lose, but I guess that one turn where our ghost towns and yeah, let's see. I will just probably gain 2 duchies here. Oh no, it doesn't. It only provinces once, but it also leaves us in a really difficult position because we need to. AI's Dens of Sins are now getting to good use, and our deck is worse with all of those. Can we do it here? Now, no, we can only tie in points. Ah, man, this is agonizing. Well, if we get one more estate, AI will just be able to to triple estate and win. So I don't want to leave it at that. But yeah, AI is super likely to just win on the next turn. It just provinces, but we need to match up. And we do find these farmers markets here at the top of our shuffle, which is a game changer actually. Wow, look at this. Look at this. I mean, I shouldn't have played them before the secret cave, but it doesn't matter here, as we'll just win. I didn't think we would win this in between. This was an ugly, ugly scramble. Wow. I at this point I really can't believe that we won this. I guess AI's extra coppers did in the end slow it down enough. But man, that was scary. I mean, we had those awful, awful turns where our Ghost Town, Den of Sin stuff kind of disconnected, but also we were lacking a bit in draw in any case. And we also got one of our victory points stacks snatched away from AI's farmers market that it got through its wishes. Yeah, I also feel a bit betrayed by AI just spamming those banquets and getting Dens of Sins and then still somehow activating its magic lamp. That was also incredible. Like, how? We were somewhat lucky that the Legionary and Gold never collided. I think we also could have done Legionary Gold stuff ourselves, but the opportunity wasn't really there. But yeah, this was ugly. Ugly, ugly. I am not confident in this, yeah. But also, to be fair, our our luck in the early game when trying to activate the lamp wasn't the greatest. It took us ages and ages to trying to activate the lamp. Maybe starting just being a bit more upfront, starting out with the Tormentor would have been better to get the Tormentor and Imp in, which both could have contributed to popping the lamp. But yeah, I don't know. Really interesting and ugly. Just ugly. Like all of those banquets by AA. Wow. Can't believe we almost lost to this, but it was closer than it looks like here. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you are faring better against the AI than I am, having more luck with your magic lamp getting popped early. But yeah, with that, I would say goodbye, and we'll try to catch you next time. Goodbye.